Hey boardies, welcome to AmassGames. My name is Simon. Today we're going to learn how to set up, play and review for the game Mini Rogue. Now this is in 4K and I have zoomed out just to show you how I'll be fully laying out this game. This is a game for 1 to 2 players. You may have seen my unboxing, teaser, trailer, preview over video, and that's because you get to see the components in it. Now in that video it tells you everything that is in the game. Funnily enough, having said that, it does state there are 2 player raids, but for some reason it only comes as 1. Also it talks about something that is grey. There's a dark grey cube, but actually it's pretty much black. So what you're going to do is you're going to play out the dungeon. Obviously we're playing in a dungeon crawl 1 to 2 player cooperative game. I'm setting this up as a solo game, but if ever I talk about something going top left to bottom right, we're throwing obviously from my direction, and that is actually how you need to be playing the game. So we need to use numerous characters. Most recently I played as a rogue, so I'm placing this out. There's a number of different characters you can be playing as, and different abilities, different starting setups as well. So like I said, if you're playing as a 2, someone is going to play a character over there. I'll be placing mine here. And then you're also going to be placing out a few extra cards. So we have a rewards card, which can be flipped if you want to fight a ghost, which can come up. You're also going to be chucking out a number of cards. You're going to be shuffling up your deck and placing out locations over here. So we have various positions, and we're ultimately trying to beat off a final boss, which is the Org's Remains. Okay, so there are 5 bosses. The Org boss always goes at the bottom, so it plays over 4 rounds. You're going to shuffle up these cards and reveal 3, or sorry, take 3 and place them over here face down. And therefore, when we address them in 4 levels of the dungeon, ultimately we're looking for victory. So let me say and put this over here as well. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below on YouTube. There are 4 character tokens as well, which may be used as and when it's played. I'm not doing a solo playthrough presently, but I do have a solo playthrough playlist. So you need to choose a meeple. Now we have 2 available, green and purple. I'm going to take my purple one and place that here. And now we're going to chuck out some cards. So these are all going to go face down, remember. So there are 9 cards, including the monster card over there. And as I said, we're starting top left, moving bottom right. So I'm trying to think where I want to go. And I've obviously got to chuck out my cards initially as well. So for now, I'm going to get this kind of out of shot just to show you that you can obviously be playing with other people and then taking it from there. So that final card's going to come out and it's going to go face up. So everyone's going to start on this location. So if you're playing as a 2, obviously you put that there. Now, I can venture out to these locations once I've resolved the card I'm on. Now, the person I'm with, if I'm leading the group, I go first and they'll go. They can go to different direction. They don't have to. And that's up to them. But when you fight, you always fight as a pair. So I can either choose to take some food, I can choose to rest, I can choose to hold my weapon. Before I do that, let's fully set up my board. So XP, everyone starts on 0, and you start off with 1 character die. Now you can increase the amount of character dice when you reach level 6, and also level 18, and finally level 23. So everyone's going to take just 1 white die, 1 character die each, and a dungeon die. The rest will be used as and when things get unlocked. So in terms of health, this character, the rogue, starts on 10 health. They have started on an XP of 0, so obviously the other one is going to go up when you're playing it with somebody else. Gold, I happen to start at 5, so again, somebody else will have theirs for their game. We've talked about health already. We've talked about potions. So potions, I haven't mentioned yet, but you might get a potion, so you just slide this across to wherever you need to have a potion. Again, your opponent or your teammate will help you with that as well. We're in the dungeon on the first floor. Once we have beaten this boss, we shall delve. We'll go down another level. Level deeper means ultimately a bit more of a stronger boss to be fighting. So we have a red cube for any kind of bosses we will fight, so we leave those off to one side. We've also got some grey cubes, so we'll come back to that. But we've also got some food. So at the minute I start off with 3 food. And again, my opponent will have a food marker as well. And I'll move my armour onto 0 for the time being. And that is pretty much how everything is set up. Now we're ready to start the game. So let me show you how it starts off. So initially I'm going to choose to take 1 XP because I want to try and get more dice. And let's say I'm just playing it solo. But now I've resolved the card, I now will move out everything else. So I've squeezed this in a little bit just to keep it in shot a little for everyone. I can zoom in a bit more, but I can either go to an empty shelter or a damp cave. Now if I happen to see a symbol which matches this symbol, then that starts revealing, oh dear, that shouldn't be there, starts revealing the bosses. Okay, so again, we don't know one of these bosses is not in there, but the boss at the bottom, the rest of them are monsters. So we need to find out the Org's Remains, which is the bottom one, which is the boss. So where do I want to go? Do I want to go to the damp cave, or do I want to go to the empty shelter? Both of them don't look particularly interesting, to be honest, but all I can do is move down or right. I can never come back again, and therefore I might end up revealing stuff I don't want to reveal. Who knows? I'll be doing a skill check. So I've got 10 health up for grabs here. I've got some stuff on the cards here. Where are which ones are edible again? And this one says, left in a hurry, better be wary. Well, for now, let's go, I don't know, let's go south and see what we're going to do here. So this is basically one turn. Now, I do have some abilities on my card as well. So during the damage of a single die from an attack, you can double it, and you also can skip the next exploration. So I might even choose to do that, to skip the exploration, who knows. But for now, let's crack on and just say, let's have this encounter. So I've got a damp cave, I'm doing a skill check. So I'll be rolling a die and seeing how I get on. Now, a success is a 5 or a 6, and that's a good thing. So I think maybe we can go this way to get some health, and let's see what happens. So let's just roll. So I did not get a success, so I didn't get 10 health necessarily. I did roll a 6, which is Adventurer's Ghost. So I do get something else out. Now in here, there is a little player aid that tells you everything as to what things represent. Now this is in 4K, so please do sure you do zoom in. So there's various things to be aware of. And the player aid isn't bad. For some reason it's stuck inside the box presently. And if you go in, you can kind of see exactly what it means. So you set your hit points to the indicated value if it was below it. So basically I didn't change anything whatsoever, but I did manage to get this other symbol, which is you begin a combat against the ghost reference card. So now, I've now started my fight against this guy. So now I'm doing combat. Let me show you how that works. I'll roll 2 dice. So I got 2 damage. And let's see what it does. So there's 2 of us playing, but let's just say I was playing solo. Then what's going to happen is I'm going to be doing the damage over here. So it's got attack of 10. So that's basically what I need to be getting it down to. So it's got 10 health. So we can set this to 10. And then what's going to happen is it's going to be doing a damage of 1 from an attack. It has done full damage, so it has definitely hit me regardless of if I had any armor. So if I happen to get a 5 over here, then I might have an armor of 1, so it does a damage of 4. But with a 6, it doesn't matter how much armor I have, it always does all the damage. So I do a damage of 1. It does damage of 1 to me, but I get to hit it first. I hit it for 2. So hit it for 2, and then it hits me for 1. And then we go again. So we are obviously in level 1 in the dungeon. So we're going to do an XP of 2. I've now rolled a 4, but I've got my special ability, so I can double the attack damage, so I can do that from an 8 down to 0. It's dead, it doesn't hit me back. I've just defeated it, and I've gained myself 2 XP, and of course that's now gone. And that's part of it. You've done one resolution, and now of course you can then reveal the next 2 rooms, because if I'm playing this solo, we're now moving on, which I'll continue playing after this video is finished. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments best on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Obviously, support the channel via Patreon. There are pictures over on Instagram, over 3,000 posts. Also, head through to Facebook to join the discussion there. What is my review? So, there's dice, and there's some mitigation, not much, especially early game, which is a problem. I feel that it's a shame that it is just down to that. I can see what they're trying to do with it, but I wish there was something more than what it is. It is highly rated. The average rating currently is 7.6. With my average rating for a game of 6.37, I'd give this closer to a 6. It is good. I think it's better as a experience. I think when you're just drifting apart and doing stuff, I don't know, it doesn't seem to lend itself much to it. It's a small box. There's enough in there, you know, you're going through different bosses. There's a campaign mode, which looks quite fun, whereby you're playing the hardest mode and you're trying to get more into the lore behind that Org's remains. So quite a cool idea. It doesn't really hit it for me, and it wasn't something that really, unfortunately, stood out as well as I hoped it would. There's loads of other stuff you can get for it too, but so far, again, it's a solo game. It's going out solo playlist. It's going to be 2-player playlist, amongst everything else. And like I said, here's that player aid, which I managed to dig out the bottom of the box. But that's it, and it's fine. But unfortunately, it's a bit of a pass for me. But hopefully find it of interest. But for now, get back to playing this game and back to the table.